Hey guys, Jason here. I just want to share the Vegeta Candidate of Destruction deck that I've been using lately. This guy, when he attacks, he draws a card, which is great because he doesn't have to swing at a leader. He can swing at a unison to draw the card. When your life is at 4 or less, or your opponent has 3 energy and you have a Gotenks unison on board, you can awaken him, take life until you have 6, and flip him over. I like that he draws 2, by the way. I know that drawing 2 is kind of outdated, but it feels so good, especially against the hand destruction decks coming out. When he awakens, he's dual attack if his power gets negged, which obviously Gotenks Unison does, and he draws for one of those swings. So let's move on to the deck that we have here. Now, the deck usually needs blue-red energy to work, and as we all know, turn 1 is the best time to charge that blue-red. So I'm using combination attack. I'm using 4 of them to charge at turn 1, and then we have for the rest of the game 1 blue-red energy. He's also really good. I know a lot of people are sleeping on him, but he's really good against, like, if someone's shotgunning for a game with a battle card, and it doesn't have barrier. I mean, if it's 5 or less, it's going back to the hand. And it can be really, really shitty to get hit by that if you're going for game. So I try to build my decks. Like, I understand Vegeta isn't tier 1, but I at least try to make him so he can fight some of the decks that are tier 1. So against Vegex, if you charge this turn 1, then immediately when they start doing their shenanigans, you can go into Beerus, and he untaps that energy. So again, turn 1, they swing at you, use Beerus, untap the energy, and then you can use Cooler. That negs 2 things by 10k, ignoring barrier. So you can get the Trunks 3-drop Vegex uses, the Kai, doesn't matter. The Kidku, it does mill 1, so be careful with that, especially against Vegex, but this is what I'm running as far as blue-red, which you need in the deck. 4 of each of these. These are the most powerful ones. This is the one you want to charge turn 1, but hey, if I see any of these, I'll charge them turn 1, because you do need the blue-red. And this is a really good card. Before, I was running the 5-drop Frieza, and running the 4-drop Frieza Negate that brings them out for 2. But upon testing, what I'm currently doing has been actually working way better. So let's move on to the rest of the deck. Turn 2, if you can pull off the Cooler turn 1, and then turn 2, you have this for defense. You can go into Unending Awakening, and then your leader becomes 15 for the rest of the turn, and then Senzu Bean obviously brings you up. Against Vegex, the best way to win is protect your life early on, wipe their board, and use Topo. So like in the first 2 turns, you're going to use a combination of Cooler, Senzu Bean, and Unending Awakening. Cooler gives you a mild sense of removal, and obviously Unending Awakening has been really good lately to make your leader very defensive, and Senzu Bean's the best extra card in the game. You've heard me talk about this guy, guys. The internal energy shift, he might go up, but I love using him and then untapping Cooler and then untapping an energy. Like, he's really good. Flight of the Grand Eagle, he's really good as well. That's another card I've been using. Sometimes I topo and they still want to drop 2 cards and swing. And if they do, I just use this. It's a free negate. And if you neg 2 of your cards by 10k, you can use this for free. And it's not exactly a negate, which is awesome, because you just get 100,000 pump, and you can still activate stuff during your combo phase, like Arrival of Cooler or something. Internal energy shift is just like an amazing card that I've been using. Topo, I am running a lot of negates in this deck, but it's like a complete meta call. You have to, like, especially against Vegex, like, you have to use Topo. I basically hard mull for Topo. This card is just going to save your ass. Obviously, when you negate with them, you drop a card, and your opponent can't swing for the rest of the turn unless they pay the cost of dropping 2 cards from hand, and that really hurts. So usually, my strategy is using the cards I just showed you for the first 2 turns, or 3 sometimes, with Topo, and then using counterplays as well. I am running 2 of these because he's so good. Like, anytime any deck has 2 energy up, I use one of these, and I look at your hand and take out a card. I mean, it's good against anything, right? even if he gets counterplayed, I mean, you're basically dropping 2 in a weird way because he's still hitting the board. I would play that more, but 1, he's really expensive. 2, it's not for every deck. You know what I mean? So, this guy has won me a lot of games. You see it too much if you play it at more than 2. That's the problem. So that's why he's at 2. I actually would get more, but he's a bit cloggy because he has a 3-drop counterplay. So, put him to the side. And this is where I get into the reason why I have to charge turn 1 a multicolor. This card right here. I love these guys. I love counterplays. Everybody knows I love counterplays, and I love Arrival, and I love things that I can do during the combo step. That's my type of gameplay. That's why people disagree so much on deck profiles and deck lists. Not because a deck is better or worse, but just because people have such different types of gameplay. And mine, for example, I love counterplay, and I love this card because he's a 1-drop counterplay that's a 15k attacker, and he bounces a 4-drop back to hand, so it can hit a lot of things, and it's basically for 1. So I've done a lot of crazy combos where I do him, and then they swing, and I Senzu Bean, and then I would use like this guy or something. And I like this guy even more because he hits, you know, Goku Adventure Begins. He hits a lot of things that really hurt. Black Mass Saiyan. I love doing things on your turn. In a way, it's like playing SS3 because you're using your energy to play things and negate their stuff. I know it's not exactly that, but if you count up the economy of cards that are being traded, it really is that way. So let me put these guys away and move on into the next card. The most important card in this deck that you absolutely have to run is the Unison. I like that if your leader gets negged, it gets a pump. So against Baby, obviously it's really good, but that's a super weird specific matchup. For the +1, you may take a card from your life and add it to your hand, and your leader gets -5. So this is great because if you want to awaken, you can take the life and give him a pump. But if you don't have to. You still get the +1, and it gives your leader -5,000, which is great because he gets plus 10,000. So basically you're giving him 5,000. The reason it's so confusing with the negging is to make sure that you don't do this with other leader cards. Like, they have very good synergy. You can run this in other decks, but it just runs so well with Vegeta, Candidate of Destruction. Dual attack is very powerful, and they don't just want to give it to anybody, so they want to make it neg if you go out of the way of using other Unisons, I assume. Because Samasu is the only other card that has dual attack this set, and he has to, like, destroy one of his energies to do it, so. The -2 is amazing, because you, again, give somebody -5,000, that's a leader, obviously, and you look at your opponent's hand, which is so crazy. Looking at your opponent's hand is great, because you can get a battle card that's 10,000 or less, it's like a super combo, and put it in a drop, or a multicolor battle card. So I've ripped, like, Xeno Cells, secret rares with that. It's really good. Another thing I like doing with this Unison is, I know this is, like, almost bad. Like, I want to take it out of the deck, but it's just been so good that I don't have the heart to do it. Monaka. So what I'll do is I'll use 1 energy for Monaka, give the leader double strike, use his effect to give him dual attack, and then when I swing with leader, I Senzu Bean, and then my leader is, 25 dual attack, double strike for the turn. I really want to take Monaka out, but every time I play a game, he usually wins me the game, where he applies so much pressure. It's, like, insane, dude. Like, a leader that's dual attack 25k is so powerful, and he draws me a card. Like, he's not that bad. Activate main is kind of bad, but not really if you're a dual attacker. You know what I mean? Like this was meant for set 1 Vegeta, but doing it activate main isn't bad because you're swinging twice. If it was activate battle, I guess it'd be better, but dude, like, I mean, he replaces himself. It's blue energy, which is amazing, and it really synergizes with the leader. So, moving on to the next card. It's another card I've been wanting to take out, but it's so good that I have to keep it because if your Unison's on board and you combo with him, you can tap 2 red and he comes in for 2 energy. And he's 20k double strike. But the best part about him is that if you're going for a game and you have a big board and you play him, because you know your opponent is saving a negate, whenever they counter, like any counter skill, you choose up to 1 of their battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it gets minus 30,000 for the turn. That's so good. This card also, there's a lot of cards that overperform in this deck that I didn't think would, and he's like one of them. Just like Monaka, like he's just really good. He's really clutch. Like it hurts when you're playing against this deck and somebody plays this card. Lastly, this is my turn 3 to 4 usually. Against Vegex, you want to blow up their board. So the way you beat Vegex is you're defensive, you play things on their turn, and then when their hand is low and their drop sucks, you play this and you nuke their board. Or you can do it on their turn and use the Vegeta Exploding Weakness. It's really good. Basically, depends if you want to counterplay it or play it on your turn. One has Deflect, one of them is a counterplay, so they're each better at their own thing. This is good against Invoker because you can tap 2 red and get rid of the Vegeta Invoker card. And lastly, I finish it off with this guy. I've been trying to make this dude good for like, I think 4 sets now. But I finally found a deck where I can play him. He needs a red Saiyan, which fits our leader. And what I would do is I would counterplay this guy or the Goku. And then when it's my turn, I just play him. So the reason I like this is because like I know he's good to be counterplayed, but against Vegex, they don't have counterplays. They're not going to touch this guy. And after you clear their hand and their board, the big problem is that they're still like at 6 life. So they're still at 6 life. You do have like 2 huge triple strikers. And a lot of decks that run Vegex don't have negates. And even if they do start running negates, then it's more clunky. So it's just weird. Yeah, 2 triple strikers that are, what, 30,000 and 29,000 is just really powerful. You can also do it with him if you were able to do it on your turn last turn. So yeah, this is my deck profile. I'll put up the deck list as well. And this is going to change. This is usually changing every week. I always test it. I'm always bringing it to locals. I'm always doing... This isn't my first one I've posted, so you guys know that it is evolving. But this is pretty much how it's staying. I may take out a Monaka, or I might put in a Frieza, but the deck is pretty solid the way it is. Let me know how you guys are running it. If you guys play different play style, let me know how you guys are doing it. Let me know what you guys think about this deck. I did a budget version of this deck that runs just as well. Well, not just as well, but, you know, really good. And yeah, let's make Vegeta great again, guys. Thank you for watching.